welcome to all who are here for the Waves seminar that is happening today. Uh, I believe Waves needs no further introduction, but I'll start with a few words about the organization before we get into the discussion for today. Waves exists as two organizations, the wider Association of Vedic Studies and the um, World Association for Vedic Studies, Waves International and Waves India. Both Waves International and Waves India are committed to facilitate research, dialogue in the Vedas, in the Shastras, in Indian knowledge systems, and spread and serve as a common platform for knowledge. For example, Waves International conducts annual biennial conferences. We're going to have our next conference coming up this June in Ayurveda. And Waves India as well conducts conferences in Delhi. We just had a recent 29th annual conference in New Delhi just last December of 2025. Now, without further ado, let us get into the topic for today's seminar. We are going to be discussing various concepts, as Shashi ma'am put it, creative intelligence, attention in the mind. Okay, creative intelligence, attention in the mind. And whether, I think, as Shashi ma'am posed the question, whether consciousness studies today have caught up with the teachings in the Upanishads. The Upanishads talk about various things that are pratyaksha, but not pratyaksha at the same time. And has science done its due diligence in bringing that which we call as paroksha or aparoksha, pratyaksha or apratyaksha, into our understanding? With that being said, I humbly request Shashi ma'am or Anilji to start this questioning or this discussion.
Sorry, Shashi, you want to go? I'll go. So thank you very much. The wholeness of what I would say is that what is consciousness is become a very big question. जैसे शशि जी कह रहे हैं उसको it's become mega word like sustainability. Everybody interprets it their own way. It's just like meditation. It's become every which way. Focus कर रहे हो तभी meditation. Body को ध्यान दे रहे हो तब meditation है. ऐसे I feel like consciousness has become such a big word. It's such a long word. And I feel इसको ढंग से समझने के लिए we have to get back to the Indian भारतीय Vedic root called चित्त या चेतना. तो वो हम कई बार समझ जाते हैं चेता हुआ है कि नहीं है, चित्त प्रसन्न है कि नहीं है. We use certain ways to express the state of consciousness. Science has caught on to this word consciousness, और in particular आजकल डिबेट हो रही है AI. Is AI conscious or not? उसमें फिर the people begin to define कि what is consciousness, whether AI is conscious or not, depending on what your definition is. You will say, yeah, it is behaving like as if it's conscious, it's self-aware. जैसा आजकल self-awareness का एक बहुत बड़ा उसका interpretation है कि if you're aware of yourself thing. So in many ways, science has produced stuff which learns from itself. ये जो AI के chatbots हैं, Claude 4.5 to being one of them, वो खुद अपने आप को देख लेता है, अपने आप उसने इनफैक्ट कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन फॉर एआई उसने खुद ने बनाया है या उसकी कंसल्टेशन करके. और अभी एक मोल्ट बॉट करके एक मोल्ट बुक करके शुरू हुई है जो एआई के एजेंट्स होते हैं. दे आर जस्ट टॉकिंग टू देमसेल्व्स एंड दे आर एक्सक्लूडिंग ह्यूमन ओनर्स फ्रॉम द कन्वर्सेशन. नाउ इफ समथिंग कैन मेक अ डिसीजन कि उनको अपने भाई बंद मतलब एआई एजेंट्स को एआई एजेंट से बात करना, ह्यूमन बीइंग्स आ सकते हैं, वो पढ़ सकते हैं बट कंट्रीब्यूट नहीं कर सकते. As if they can come in this chat, they can contribute, but they can read whatever is going on. So, is that consciousness? Can they make active decisions about their welfare? Is that consciousness? So, वो सब जो है, it's become made it all very murky. So what is consciousness and where do you define things are conscious or not? Now, as अपने जो वेद में तो बहुत क्लियर है कि आपने जैसे आप बोल भी रहे थे, हम ब्रह्मास्मि, राइट? वेद अंत तो यही है कॉन्शियसनेस. हम सब कुछ हैं, हम ही हैं. ब्रह्मा भी हैं, विष्णु भी हैं, महेश भी हैं. Now, science is beginning to look at it from the awareness of the self. जो हार्ड प्रॉब्लम जो साइंस की है वो भी क्रैक नहीं हुई है। इनफैक्ट कल ही मैं पढ़ रहा था जो कि हाउ कैन समथिंग व्हिच इज मटेरियल बिकम something called awareness, a subjective experience. और in fact there's some book has come out, पे बहुत लंबा 45 minutes का आर्टिकल था, लंबा, न्यूयॉर्क टाइम्स में। तो इस की how do we know AI is conscious? So the interview asked the interviewer that, how do I know you are conscious? He says, because I say so. Well, that's what, if AI says I'm conscious, who's to disagree with it? So consciousness, अगर आप कहते हैं हम conscious हैं तो conscious हैं। अगर आपको जैसे
Hello.
चांद साहब ने ज्वाइन किया है, अगर
हाँ जी, I
आपकी
have joined
अवेयरनेस,
now.
हाँ, अगर आपकी अवेयरनेस आपके थ्रू जा रही है तो फिर आप अपने अपने डिसीजन को आप देख सकते हैं और उसको मॉनिटर कर सकते हैं, रेगुलेट कर सकते हैं। देन मे बी द कॉन्शियसनेस देयर। सो आपने जैसे शशि जी क्वेश्चन पूछा कि क्या वेदों के ऊपर गए हैं, वेदों के ऊपर तो कैसे जा सकते हैं? वेदों ने तो अल्टीमेट कर दिया कि एवरीथिंग इज कॉन्शियसनेस, हाउ कैन यू गो देयर? सो पर जो साइंस में जो ड्युअलिटी होती है, जैसे महर्षि ने कहा था कि ड्युअलिटी कैन नेवर एंटर यूनिटी, इट कैन डांस अराउंड द ड्युअलिटी, द यूनिटी इट कैन नेवर एंटर। पर जिस तरह से वो एआई के बॉट्स को करा रहे हैं, इट्स लाइक बॉगलिंग पीपल्स माइंड्स हाउ क्विकली these so-called agents जो हैं, technical tools, are beginning to act like it's conscious. So now they're saying कि asymptotically they will never reach consciousness, as Vedanta say, but they will slowly begin to reach at a level where it won't make a difference with their consciousness, because they'll act like that. This to me is the state of the affairs right now. Where do we go from there? We have no idea. किसी को नहीं पता कि कहाँ जाएंगे, but this is what I feel is तो चित्त, अगर हम चित्त और मन की बात, चित्त की बात करते हैं और चित्त के अंदर आनंद वगैरह, then we get slightly different way of thinking, because चित्त is beyond awareness. चित्त is like the totality of being चेता हुआ, अच्छा चेतना. Anyway, I'll stop here. I just wanted to share what came to me as stream of consciousness.
थैंक यू सर। आप लोगों को बताते हुए खुशी हो रही है कि हम लोग के जो मेन स्पीकर हैं डॉक्टर शांतकुमार भारद्वाज सर उपस्थित हो चुके हैं।
उमेश जी, I think you're not audible.
Yes, dear, I have joined.
Yes.
मेरी आवाज जा रही है सुरज जी?
I have joined now. I'm
It's a bit
sorry
more.
I've been late because I'm on the airport now, so there was a bit of traffic jam, so could not attend in time. So I have now joined.
Okay.
Yes.
Then you please start.
थैंक यू सर।
Namaste,
मेरी
Dr.
आवाज जा रही
Bhardwaj.
है?
Now I can hear you, yes, Umesh. It's better.
ये बताते हुए बहुत खुशी हो रही है कि हम लोगों के जो मेन स्पीकर हैं शांतकुमार भारद्वाज सर हम लोगों के बीच उपस्थित हैं और ऑलरेडी हम लोग लेट हैं। बहुत खुशी हो रही है कि हम लोगों के बीच में वेव्स के बड़े सीनियर मेंबर और एक तरह से देखा जाए तो कॉन्शसनेस पर कई दशकों से काम कर रहे हैं। हम लोगों का टॉपिक है अटेंशन एज क्रिएटिव इंटेलिजेंस रिप्रेजेंटिंग द टोटलिटी ऑफ कॉन्शसनेस। We are honored to have Dr. C.K. Bhardwaj with us as a speaker. Dr. Bhardwaj is an educationist and researcher, founder of CoAIM, the correlation of attention, information and material, and journal secretary of Sawan Adhyatmic Satsang Society, New Delhi. His work bridges value-based education, meditation, and scientific study of consciousness. This session is being recorded and moderated question and answer session will follow the talk. We are grateful that Mr. Asrut Surinarayanan, our associate board member, Waves International, will moderating this today's session. With this, I would like to invite Dr. Shankar Bhardwaj sir to begin his presentation. Thank you, sir.
Namaste, Bhardwaj ji. I'm currently sharing your PowerPoint presentation. Give me 1 second.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Can I speak now?
Yes.
Sir, please.
Hello.
Hello, Dr. Bhardwaj
Can
ji.
you hear me?
Can you hear us?
Yes, my dear.
Okay. Ji, yes. Please begin.
Yes, I can start.
Yes.
Wonderful. So, I'm trying to explain this that attention as creative intelligence is representing the totality of consciousness. If we can go to the next slide, I would like to explain you a little more. Now here, I am explaining CoAIM philosophy. It is actually exploring the flow of divine energy in our lives. So the heading is correlation. CO means co, A means attention, I means information, M means material. So we are talking about the correlation of your attention, which is the outer expression of your creative intelligence. And this creative intelligence is connected to its source in real time, which is absolute intelligence and a capable force. So practically, it starts from the shloka Ekam Bahushyam. It was one and alone, and in the stride of bliss, the being of light, all-knowing, all-pervading, was one and alone. And as modern science tells you that the creation started 13.7 billion years ago with Big Bang, and it will continue till the black holes. It will continue for another 22 billion years. So I would like to first of all explain that the NASA has really sent this Planck satellite camera, and this camera has scanned the whole sky for many years. And a beautiful picture of the whole cosmos has appeared. And this picture has got three basics. It has got a floating material bodies. It has got a universal mind, and we are calling that universal mind in the form of magnetic and gravitational fields, weak and strong nuclear forces. They are running the whole cosmos from its beginning till its end. So this is what is a living entity, and it is being energized by absolute intelligence and a capable force. We explain that with particle and wave theory in the modern science, because we say that the creation is an intelligent design. And there got to be an intelligent being who's doing it all. Even a blade of grass is intelligently designed. Now, if you look at that, so I would like to explain you that there are three basics in this living cosmos, which has got floating material bodies, the body of the cosmos, and there is a universal mind, which is embedded with information systems like 2G, 3G, 6G internet. It has got chemistry, physics, maths, all in it, including laws of nature. Every action has got an equal and opposite reaction. So there is a universal mind. And particle and wave theory is energizing this, because science proved that particle behaves intelligently. In double slit experiment, you can understand that the particle divides itself into two and passes through the double slit. It can become a wave or a particle anytime, anywhere. So we have understood that the wave is the sound known as nada in my scriptures, and particle of light is that light, the being of light, Jyoti Swarup we call it. So that became from one to many, and one part of his created the time-bound material creation, which is now explained in the modern science as Higgs boson. The Switzerland research proved that part, that this God particle has got the ability to attract. It's a Higgs boson. It has got the ability to attract. So it attracted two things together to create the first atom as hydrogen, which has got an electron and a proton. And then it used two hydrogen things, If you can show me the last pages where this hydrogen, yes, that's it. So two hydrogen atoms fused together created helium. Then hydrogen and helium fused together by the Higgs boson has really created the first galaxy of suns. There were no planets. So this is how the creation started. And then when these two suns blast together, you will see the next slide is there, which is a video. This is one, the pulsar. If you can put on this video, you will be able to see that, how that absolute intelligence capable force is producing 100 and odd elements. And this video will tell you that how the whole, that one sun in the center, which you can see a smaller one, 3 times the sun, if it is condensed into a size of Delhi, it becomes a neutron star. And there is another sun which is revolving around it, and it burns that and creates 100 and odd elements. So this is how the creation started. And you will find some other video, I think. Are you able to put on this video, my dear?
I don't think so, Bhardwaj. It seems like the video is not embedded in the slide.
Okay. Can you slide little up and down the video, maybe in the next slide, possibly?
Let me here.
Can you go to the next? Now here it is the 100 and odd elements, as I said. Well, okay, let's forget about the video. Now this is how is a creation of your earth, you know. Can you put on this? Is it a video here?
Here, no. I don't think
There
any
is a
videos
link
have been
here.
embedded.
Okay. So let me explain. Go back to the pulsar, you know, the next one, which you were showing earlier. The other one, yes, this one. Now, you know, where I was explaining that the central star, the sun, which is a condensed one, is a pulsar, and it is burning the another sun which is revolving around it and creating all that ionized material in the form of that smoke, high temperature, volatile material, which is ionized material. These two suns will blast again, and then they'll carry their ionized material. Gradually it will cool down and create this earth. Planets got formed. So in our scriptures it is said the Pehla Gyan Surya ko diya, means the first knowledge was given to the sun god, and that is how these two suns are operating at 22 places. And this is an expanding universe at the moment. So what I am trying to say, that there is an energy which created the whole cosmos. And now you can show the other slide that it had created 100 and odd elements. There you see these periodic table, which has got 100 and odd elements. These were created in that gaseous form. And the central sun, which is carrying all these material around, that gradually cools down and it creates those planets, you know, the molten body like our Earth. So it starts cooling down, the upper crust gets solidified. Some of the comets came and hit the Earth, the water comes in because comets are ice. And that's how this living organism, the living creation you can see. But now I'm going to tell you that how that creative intelligence is operating. The beauty is that you are part of the absolute because it became from one to many. And one part created this time-bound material creation. Now you want to enter this time-bound material creation. You are a creative intelligence. You are connected with your source 24/7 with the audible stream of life. We call it as audible stream of life because you are connected with that intelligent being. So you are a creative intelligence which is connected to absolute, and your outer expression is your attention. Wherever the attention goes, the divine energy flows. So what this attention did, because it became from one to many, now we are all individual souls as creative intelligence. So what we did, that we acquired the mind from the universal mind. And now you can see some other slides also, that where we have explained all this phenomena, that you have acquired the mind. Now I'll again read these few lines here, because this is how I'll be able to give you the complete concept. I'm really sorry that these videos are not operated here. Anyhow, I'm reading that attention is the outer expression of the connected soul, functioning as a living bridge between the inner self and the external world. It is not merely concentration or focus, but a dynamic focus of awareness. As an omniscanner, attention behaves like a particle of light, capable of perceiving, selecting, interacting with reality in multiple directions simultaneously. Though attention's inner consciousness shapes experiences, enabling profound perception, creative interaction, and transformative changes. Now, this is a capable force with you because you are connected with your source. So you are a capable force, which is part of all knowing, all pervading. Can we go to the next slide, please? Now here we are again saying that we are explaining this CoAIM theory and practice that explains how information and material are deeply interconnected with human experience. Information represents the mind, embedded knowledge, impressions, and laws of nature, while material refers to the physical body and the elemental world through which experience is expressed. When information in the mind is aligned with a higher awareness, the material body becomes a conscious instrument, because your creative intelligence has acquired the mind, and then you become an individual person along with that mind, and how you will create a body. So we call it as a causal mind and a causal body. Causal body is like a sketch of Ardhanareshwar, half woman and half man, because we want, the cause was to come and feel the creation. So we needed senses. To develop these senses, my creative intelligence, my soul, after taking the laws of nature as a causal mind and information systems, I created this beautiful sketch of Ardhanareshwar. Now I have to form this body. Now the next point comes up, that my creative intelligence, my soul, refined the causal mind and the causal body sketch into an astral mind and an astral body. That is where I started from a single cell, because my soul has got state-of-art planning ability and its execution ability. Whereas mind is only information, nothing more than that. Because I told you the universal mind is embedded with information systems and laws of nature. So I have acquired this mind, causal mind, from there. Now I'm refining that mind into an astral mind, and I'm creating this body, Ardhanareshwar. Right, I'm starting from a single cell as amoeba. How amoeba is made? Because I proved you that we are light and sound, particle and wave. So this particle and wave really stuck on pure elements, converted them into amino acids, and amino acids synthesize the proteins. And that is how the first single cell comes, because proteins were available in the water. As I told you, the comet came and hit the molten earth. Upper crust got punched, the seas got formed. All that molten lava and the water were mixing together, and they created those proteins in the water. So my creative intelligence, which is light and sound, and it has got all the laws of nature and information systems, it stuck on pure elements, converted them into amino acids, and amino acids synthesize the proteins. And that is how the first life comes up. I would like to read some more lines here. When information in the mind is aligned with higher awareness, the material body becomes a conscious instrument rather than a limiting force. This harmony allows a smooth and conscious flow of divine energy, creating balance between inner intelligence and outer action and supporting meaningful and sustainable living. Can we go to the next slide, please? Now here I was explaining, the next slide, please. Here I was explaining that after forming a life, because you have acquired the mind and you made the first single cell. Now it's a beauty that this single cell, amoeba, has got a soul, it has got a mind, which is rather registering the information of the experiences it has got, or it is working on those things, while making the first single cell. And it has got a material body. Now this cell, amoeba, dies after a while. The material remains here. The mind and the soul, the creative intelligence, leaves the body, goes back into the astral region, and comes out again to make a physical body, which is known as a double cell organism. It again dies, my dear. Then the material remains here. Mind and soul goes back to the astral region and comes out again to make a multi-cell organism. And that is how from one body to the next we crossed 8.4 million species to create the crown of creation, the human body. Now we are an individual person now here. And now here, I would like to read these lines, which is so important. When consciously guided attention becomes a powerful creative force, enabling clarity, balance, and transformative growth. Now, information embodies wisdom and natural laws and guide through perception and decision-making residing within the mind. It shapes understanding and provides direction for conscious actions, And can you please go to the next slide? Now, exploring the essence of creative intelligence and divine energy flow. The soul embodies light and sound, representing the essence of creative intelligence. Through its divine connection, the soul becomes the source from which awareness, intention, and energy arise. This inner intelligence enables energy to be channeled consciously, transforming inner experiences into meaningful outward expression. Because we had decided to form this, to have these senses of the body. So we created this body, and then now we are sensing it through our attention, because attention is the outer expression. Please. This inner intelligence enables energy to be channeled consciously, transforming inner experiences into meaningful outward expression. Now, here I'm explaining that unlock the potential of propounding personal growth and contribute to sustainable human change in the world around them. Please go to the next slide. This is how, you formed a body, the human body, and after the apes, you became human beings. And once you became a human being, you became selfish, because we thought we are a body and we were organizing things for the body, because body deals with hunger, clothes, housing, vanities of the world, sex and sleep. Whereas the mind deals with the information. It is having those experiences in your body. This is what is lust, anger, ego, attachment, deceit, fears, and worries. Because you pre-calculate the future, fears and worries get added into that. So this is how we have now created this body, and mind is dealing with the experiences and events. And the driving force here is your attention. Now here is a key point to tell you that if we can understand that the divine force energizes my mind and body both. My mind and body doesn't have their own energy. They are being energized by the soul. And here something wonderful comes again, that in this body, we are not one single soul. There are 30 trillion cells in your body. Each cell is a living entity. It has got a body, it has got a mind. Because in the mother's womb, the first single cell is made as zygote. It is mother's egg, father's sperm together, carrying all the information, that genetic information right from the single cell till now. So, including the mother's information, the genes have got that, how much it matches with what animal, something with the father's sperm as well. Dada, Pardada, and Parpardada, great grandfather, right from the single cell. All that information is there. Now it joins together in the mother's womb, and one single cell is formed, named as zygote. This cell becomes from one to many in the mother's womb. And that cell is carrying all the information. What will be the color of your eyes? What will be the features of your face? And what all things, the height of the body. And if you are carrying any disease from your parents, the genetic diseases will be reflected there. Now, the beauty is that we have got 30 trillion cells together, because the cell is becoming from one to many in the mother's womb. They are not 30 trillion at that time. They are here once we are grown up. So now I am gradually telling that that single cell, which is becoming from one to many in the mother's womb, when it reaches the location of the heart, it transforms itself into a cell of a heart. It is an intelligent being, I tell you. As soon as it transforms into a cell of a heart, it again becomes from one to many, and then that cell, which has transformed itself into a cell of a heart, becomes from one to many to make the whole heart. The same cell travels down to the kidney location, develops your kidney, becomes from one to many again, and forms the whole kidney. Now you see, the same cell goes to the location of the eye in the fetus, in the mother's womb. It develops that eye, which is more complex than your brain. Imagine what kind of a absolute intelligence capable force is this. So wherever the attention goes, the divine energy flows. So attention had gone to make a human body, to experience this time-bound material creation. So we did it. Now, once we have become a human body, we became selfish, my dear. And till now, we are multiplied selfish people, because we thought we are a body only. We've been working only for the body. Hunger, clothes, housing, vanities of the world, sex and sleep. Then gradually we started knowing, no, we are gathering information. That if the seed goes to the ground, it grows, becomes a plant. So we started collecting all that information, and we started thinking, though, no, I'm a mind also, other than the body. So the egos came in, that I know everything. But later on, in between the two rivers, like Sindhu River and the Saraswati River, there was a civilization developed, like Vedic period, where 88,000 Rishi Muni yogis sat together. They worked on it, and they found, no, we are something beyond mind. And that is what is your soul. And how they got it, it all descended on them. Because in meditation, you withdraw this attention from body and mind and link it to the source. And you receive a gush of knowledge, and all those things start flowing in. That beautiful energy, which is working like an omni scanner, passes through the mind, all the 4 layers of mind. Then it passes through this body, downwards and outwards, into the world through the senses of the body. Whatever you had seen, touched, tasted, or heard, Your attention has gone, takes you back in your life. You remember your old school times, that this was the school building. You met such friend in those days. You think about future. So this is to make you feel past and future, and to feel this body here. So this is how I would like to tell you, look, the first requirement of the body is hunger. So hunger uses that attention, and that attention takes this body which is hungry towards the kitchen. By the time you're walking towards the kitchen, the mind adds on the information of taste you had earlier and reminds you. The mind tells you where the money is lying, where is the vehicle, where is the shop, all information. Just go there and let me have the same taste. The mind is stressing upon that it wants to have that particular thing, Say, for example, Ganguram ka dahi bhalla. No, he wants to eat that from a specific shop, that particular item which he likes because he had tasted it earlier. So the mind is providing information and wants to work. I mean, both of them, body and mind together, are using your attention like a donkey day in and day out for their purposes. Now, if we can understand this beautiful area of knowledge, which really conforms to all the Indian knowledge system, whatever I am talking, I'm talking through science, but it is based on Indian knowledge system, all that Vedic knowledge. But to make younger generation working on it and keep on doing their PhDs because it is already in scriptures. So we got. I'm really sorry all those videos are missing here, and we got to. I send all these videos, then you can see them at your leisure. I'll send them all by email to Supriya or to anyone, Manumesh, I can send. So can you please show the next slide? Yeah, that's right. Now, this is what the path of the conscious transformation. CoAIM philosophy reminds us that true change begins within. By cultivating conscious attention, we allow divine energy to flow naturally, shaping thoughts, actions, and outcomes. When inner awareness aligns with wisdom, personal transformation evolves into sustainable and humane change. So, CoAIM, each individual becomes a conscious participant in creating a balanced, compassionate, and evolving world. Here, I would like to say something very important. That look, you are that particular attention. If you focus this attention on the body, it is a physical yoga. If you use the same attention, which is like an omni scanner, which is a capable force, into your mental region, then you can, it is known as mental yoga. You can do a lot of research work, softwares and scientific researches to go to the moon and stars and create all those wonderful things in the world. It is a mental yoga. But the spiritual yoga is practically withdrawal of attention. Now, withdrawal of attention is from this body and from this mind, which is wavering, goes past and future, because the universal mind is moving all the time. It is not stopping, my dear. It runs right from the beginning, from Big Bang to black hole, in a predestined manner. So that universal mind runs your mind, you don't, because you will find that it is running the whole cosmos through magnetic and gravitational fields. So they'll make the whole sea go up and down. Your body has got 75-80% water, and this water really triggers your brain, and something different happens here. Once uh, it goes into the brain, it triggers those components, and your moods will swing. And that is how you will be behaving here. So you got to understand that body and mind are using you. And that is what is happening here. That is what is karma theory. The universal mind runs your mind. If you run your life with divine attributes, you don't create any karmas. Otherwise, you are creating karmas here and getting involved into that. And this is what has to be known, that it is withdrawal of attention. Now, the last point I would like to say that these two eyes are cameras, two uh, uh, optical nerves run in the center of the head where ears are also connected. The picture is formed at the back. Where these two optical nerves of two eyes meet together is the location of your soul. And it is connected to the source through the Brahmarandra. We know it through our scriptures. So you got to withdraw your attention there. And you have got only two senses there, seeing and listening. Whereas in the astral region, you have developed senses like smelling, tasting, and touching. Whereas you have got only seeing and listening ability, because you are connected with the audible stream of life to your source. So if you see a blast going on, a fire is there, if you listen and you look into the fire, you don't get burned. Nothing burns, because soul does not burn. It does not burn. It remains pure. It remains pure.
I believe that there is lag. It seems like Dr. Bharadwaj has exited the call due to connection issue. We'll wait
Sorry,
for.
it was an internet problem. Now it is true.
Yes, you're
Now,
audible.
this is what I have explained, the whole thing, that how attention is the outer expression, and wherever the attention goes, the divine energy flows. The attention is representing the absolute in your body. So this is what I have claimed. Now you can ask some questions or anything you want. Please go ahead. So we have already talked about this closing thought, and please, over to you.
Yes. Firstly, thank you so much, Dr. Bharadwaj ji. Very insightful. I think, I mean, with how, Makeshwari ji started, Dr. Makeshwari ji and Bharadwaj ji started, we sort of got a bottom down, bottom up approach of how this works, with things asymptotally approaching to consciousness, and a top down approach from Dr. Bharadwaj ji, where we started with Bahusyam Praja Yeti. Yadvaitat Sukritam. Let's look at this planned universe. God does not play dice with the universe. Everything is working in a predestined plan, and how that, attention to with a specific will creates information which, in turn translates with material. And that correlation, exploring life as that, serves as a powerful basis for us to, further spiritually enhance ourselves and perhaps live better lives. So, with that being said, I don't want to take any further time. Let's go on to questions. Before we go on to questions, this is just a small request on my end. Um, do not try to have conversations in the form of questions. Maybe having one follow-up after you ask a question is preferred, because other people might also want to ask questions as well. If you want to follow up on those questions, please email Dr. Bharadwaj. So with that being said, we'll begin with questions. Please raise your hands. You can type in the chat box as well. Dr. N, I believe you have a question.
Hello, Dr. Bhardwaj. Excellent talk. My background is in particle physics. I work at CERN also, the one which you mentioned, Higgs boson. I was part of the experiment also. Your insight into all this thing was eye-opening. My question about nowadays, the physics, the pure physics is getting into these, now they are calling so-called metaphysics, right? They want to understand this consciousness as they understand the matter and things like that, right? So we have standard model and we have Lagrangian equation for standard model. You think physics can proceed and go towards this consciousness field and develop some kind of mathematical model for that? Because it looks like the consciousness is the field, one of the fifth field, like electromagnetic, gravitational, strong, and weak. And this can be one of the fifth field which we want to explore. And ultimately, there are certain points where each individual has their own consciousness and how that is formed. Any thoughts on that, Dr. Bhardwaj?
Well, it's a wonderful question. You are asking about the consciousness. So we got to understand that totality of consciousness one way, and how we are all part of that totality of consciousness, and physics can really go there closer to the thing, because now particle and wave theory has proved that part, that the particle behaves intelligently. So your attention, I'll just try to give you one particular beautiful example of a seed. Seed has also got three basics. It has got a material body, it has got a mind, whether it is of a mango or an apple. Then there is a creative intelligence in the seed. And if you put this seed into a dry sand, it won't germinate. As soon as you put water, the life will immediately trigger, because it is very intelligent. It can sense, because your attention is a single sensor of all the senses in your body, because you developed further senses of smelling, tasting, and touching. Now you are talking about how to connect it with the physics. I would like to say that you have to first of all understand about that consciousness, how it operates. That is what I explained today, that how it descended. And it is not somewhere outside. It is all within you. That point where these two optical nerves meet. And that is the point, you are not that drop, my dear. If you look into yourself, you will be knowing that it is the sea. Everything is within that. And now 3 Nobel laureates have recently proved that the creation is not real. And my scriptures are saying, Jagat Mithya Brahma Satya. Now we are having dream into dream into dream. God became from one to many, and that is where the time and material do not exist. We belong to that region. Then the other regions start, which is time and material, means the mind and body. And then we acquired that, as I explained. So it was a dream into a dream. The first dream was universal mind. Second dream into a dream is the causal mind and causal body. The next dream you are seeing in astral mind and astral body. Then you come to the physical body and physical mind. Now, how you want to correlate each particular aspect of physics, you have to work on that. I think the scriptures, the shlokas, and the science, the boys who are working on science, they are becoming science graduates. So they got to understand each part and connect with it, as you have done it recently through particle and wave theory, as we are knowing about gravitational magnetic fields, that how they operate. But this is all is a dream. Jagat Mithya Brahma Satya. So I think to make people understand the depth of physics is to meditate and know more on it, because the basic knowledge will descend on you and you will understand things. I think some instruments and other things can be made. In All India Institute of Medical Sciences, we tested about 100 people in 3 different modes. One mode was alert mode. So they put certain instruments and they could know that how much alert a person is who is meditating. He was much more alert than ordinary people, or who were not doing right type of meditation, which I call it as withdrawal of attention. The second test was relaxed mode of 45 minutes. The people who were doing this meditation of withdrawal of attention, they were much more, happier. And then the third test was 1.5 hours of deep meditation. where they had ecstatic experiences of love. So this is how we are testing all these areas at different levels and trying to know more. But now physics has to come forward. After understanding this, what I talk, then correlate with all laws of nature, we understand that everything is a frequency. So the gods, when it was one and alone, the being of light was one and alone in the beginning, and it felt like loving. And felt like loving to love, it became from one to many. We've been loving him and he's been loving us. So that is how the things start. Because love has to be explained. The Western scholars explained love as lust and sex, whereas love is caring. Mother's love, unconditional love has to be understood. So now how we can really work on these areas to prove through physics, the physicists have to come forward and ask us questions on that. Whatever we know about that, that how frequencies created the whole creation. Even one of the scientists came from Netherlands, and what he said, that each organ of your body has been developed through a particular frequency. So he had a server where he put about 1,25,000 frequencies on that. Through a telephone device, he is connecting to your body through a small little tape on it, and the instrument is there. So all those different kinds of frequencies are healing your different organs. And there are new areas in this. So how physics is going to work on those frequencies, how a frequency works, how each organ is out of a frequency, and how we use the material, how we are using all those toxins, toxic materials are going in, the plastic utensil we use, it all goes in, and how it destroys, how the viruses came in. Today we had another conference here in Lucknow on cognition. So I was talking on cosmic cognitive restructuring to go beyond cognition. So first of all, we got to go to the limits of intellect, my dear, and only then we can go beyond. What we could find while going to the limits of intellect by critical thinking, that mind has got another ability which really dodges. That is what is creating doubt. At the level of the highest level, you have understood things, but the mind will again create a doubt. And like that, snake ladder, there is a game with the children. So you come back again because the doubt will really create bad things. So physics can clear those doubts and we can work on it. This is how I can answer that the physicists have to come together and we should work together to find out the solutions so that we can further explain through science. As I explained that, look how gravitational magnetic fields run your mind. You don't. So please, I think, have I answered your question? I do not know, but I tried my best.
No, Dr. Bhardwaj, that was excellent, right? But I think there's lot we can discuss later on. There's also in physics we are measuring now entanglement, as you know, right? These also can be related to some kind of consciousness and all. But that's for
Naturally.
some other day. Some other day. Let other people ask questions.
Yeah, I have
But
to.
it will be
Yeah, you
wonderful
can
to.
interact with me directly on my WhatsApp, and you can get the number.
Sure. We will contact later on. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Dr. N. I believe we have two questions. We'll start with Kamleshji, then I'll go to R.S. Kaushalji.
Yeah.
That's
The
okay.
question is very simple. Your basic hypothesis is the Big Bang theory and the expanding universe. Is that
Yes.
as I understood?
Yes,
Because
of
that is
course,
what.
because whatever
Yeah.
is the latest science is available, we are talking on that, but we can update as far as other changes will come.
Yeah. But
We
the
will keep on
other
updating
alternative,
ourselves.
sorry to interrupt. The other alternative that we are given to understand in the various yoga theories and that is oscillating universe, where it fits into that some stars, they die and another solar system gets activated. This becomes a black hole, and this is an oscillating universe. Nothing ever started. If you say expanding, then that means there was a starting point, which we don't know. And if you say that it will end somewhere, that again, our theory is anantam. So that was my one fundamental question. Actually, doubt about the entire talk. The second was the soul. Why are we using soul when we are talking in the context of our own Shruti and Smriti? And the word is, and in fact, there is a very simple question, Atma Trahika. And then the answer is Chitta. So, Chitta Devata ka and Kesha, okay, Brahma. So, Chit and Atma, they are, expanding, but, and that is immortal. Where a soul goes and deposits itself in one place to be reunited. So, should we not be discarding the word soul? Because that was the only confusing thing that thinking about the Atma. And I am suddenly trying to focus on the soul, which is Atma
Oh,
is a translatable word. So we should use Atma and Chetna.
okay.
Yeah,
Now I would like to see if I call it as Paramatma, means it is all knowing, all pervading,
yeah, that is
and
it.
that omniscient, omnipresent. Now, this particular energy, we are part of it, and we
Yeah,
are all part of all knowing, all pervading.
yeah,
And that works because God is light, explained in all the religions, Jyoti Swarup. Now, and it has been explained in my scriptures that nada happened, it became from one to many. The whole creation is cyclic. It starts from Big Bang, finishes at black hole, and again it starts. Gita also talks about this. So it is becoming time and again. The whole creation is coming. So the science has calculated that it started 13.7 billion years ago, will continue for another 22 billion years ago, from Big Bang to black hole, and again it will start. Well, if we leave that here, and our scriptures also talk that Jagat Mithya Brahma Satya at the same time. And this, as I said, that Nobel laureates have been awarded that the creation is not real. So understanding this, that your soul is permanent, it won't die at all. It is, it won't drown, or it won't get burnt, or it won't have any kind of a thing. So it is permanent. Whereas attention is constant here, I would like to say. It will solve the physics question also. And then mind and body are variables. So if we can really understand this part, that we are a soul, and in this body there are 30 trillion of them together. Each cell is a living entity. If you donate your kidney, it works in the other body. So understanding this thing, you have to understand your consciousness, how it really works, how it created all these components of your body. That's enough to know that there is something divine within you which has done, and you have understood that 84 lakh joniyon se hote hue you created the crown of creation, the human body. So that intelligent being is, you are representing that. It is here within you. So I think if we call soul as a creative intelligence, that's what I would like to call. And God, I would like to call absolute intelligence and a capable force. So now you said that Atma is a word. So I can't hear you. Please, you unmute yourself.
I am unmuted. I just said that Atma is a non-translatable word because something in Sanskrit means something, and soul does not connote that. soul is something that goes away and is deposited in heaven or whatever. And same thing,
My
Dharma
dear,
is not a religion.
my dear,
So I am
no,
just
it is.
trying to question the terminology. That's it.
Now, I would like to say that the soul, when leaves the body, again joins its own source. So it is that sea where you get merged. Again, you become a conscious co-worker of the divine plan. But the mind is that which really brings you back into the next janma. Your karma theory brings you back. So mind is still capturing you antmataha sogataha. At the time of death, the mind will still keep on holding to the soul, and the mind will drag you down towards that. So before you die, you have to learn how to de-link from your mind also. Of course, from the body you will get de-linked as soon as you die. The material will remain here, but mind and soul are still together. So what you have to do in a human body, that you got to learn how to de-link from the mind before you die. Only then you can get that moksha which you are asking me, that where the soul will get deposited. Because it is conscious co-worker of the divine plan.
Ashwatji,
I don't know
can I?
whether oh, wonderful, sir. Wonderful.
Yes, Kaushalji, do go ahead. Yes.
Yeah, I have an answer to a particle physicist question. And
Wonderful, sir.
if Dr. Bhardwaj permits, I can reply on his behalf. That's how.
Please.
हेलो भारद्वाज जी, मैं वो पार्टिकल
जी
फिजिसिस्ट का जवाब दे दूं? ऐसा है, उन्होंने पूछा.
जी जरूर.
हाँ, actually,
Please.
I want to draw his attention, that respected colleague, to my recent writing. I have written a book. I'm also a particle physicist, nuclear physicist. I have done all these things. So book is titled as Vedic Psychoscience, and there is a chapter, full-fledged chapter, how physical field differ from the fundamental consciousness field. Dr. Bhardwaj was talking about a field which is cosmic consciousness field. It is, please note that all physical fields, they are limited to space-time concept, whereas consciousness field starts working beyond that space-time. There is no concept like velocity. It is omnipresent, all pervading, all properties, they are very beautifully described in Srimad Bhagavata, and Bhardwaj has repeatedly mentioned. So you please think of such a fundamental field spread all over, then apply the process of second quantization. Second quantization is a mathematical trick to convert the continuum into a discrete version. But you can study the same thing by having that discrete version. So once we talk of the soul, or you can call Atma in different literary mean, different, that kind of thing. So discretization you can think of in the form of all souls, all jivas. So I think I have thought over all these points, and I will only refer to my earlier works. The book is published 2024, and by DK Printwell. Now I have one query to Dr. Bhardwaj जी. भारद्वाज जी, एक सवाल आपसे है मेरा, आप सुन रहे हैं ना?
जी सर.
हाँ, when there was a Big Bang, kindly tell me who was the observer?
And जी?
They are not present. When there was a Big Bang in the cosmos, who was the observer? Who was the observer? Who saw it?
You are the observer, sir.
आप समझ गए मेरा सवाल?
I could not get your point, sir.
When Big Bang occurred, Big Bang event occurred, cosmic event, who was the observer?
Is it clear? Bhardwaj? Yeah,
You
okay.
were the observer because you are part of the
वो
absolute.
किसने देखा बिग बैंग?
You are the
आज के physical process
observer.
or the process described
You
in
are the
last book.
creator. That drop we are
See, human being was not there. Who was created much, much later. Because after Big Bang, quark-gluon plasma came. Then nuclear particle physics was created. Then nuclear physics was created. Then molecular physics was created. And human being came much after that. So there's a big question, who was the observer?
actually
So it's a kind of a subjective experience. I'm going to alternative answer. It's a kind of subjective experience occurred at the cosmic level. However, realized by the individual level. There is in Indian philosophy, there is a concept of jiva. We have Jada and Chetan. In between, there is a mediator who connects the two entities. Jada and Chetan are connected by jiva. So there is a cosmic jiva and there is a individual jiva. Individual sits in a meditation and develops his thinking such a way that his jiva matches with the cosmic jiva. Only then subject to experience arise. So I'm writing on these lines the famous problem, hard problem of consciousness. How the subject to experience is realized in neuroscience. So I just want to draw your attention like this. Thank you.
Sir, you have already answered the question in your explanation. In your question, you have got the answer. So I have got another question. Can consciousness be the observer? Consciousness itself is the observer. You are right. That's what is doing everything.
Yeah,
Consciousness things get sorted out.
That's just jiva, cosmic jiva, and
Yeah, that's right, sir.
it is a consciousness which creates the space and time. Space-time once created,
Right.
then you can talk about the Big Bang and onward theory.
Exactly, sir. Consciousness created all that.
Okay, I believe there's a follow-up to this question actually. Dr. N is again asking, can consciousness be the observer? I think you were just talking about that. Do you want to add any comments on that, Dr. Bhardwaj?
Well, I think I am at the airport today, and I had started from that conference here in Lucknow, and I had hurriedly come at the airport. We got delayed, so we took some time to open up the meeting. So if you can make the question clear to me, I will be answering that.
Definitely. I
What is the
think
meaning of consciousness observer, sir? I couldn't understand it.
Yeah,
I'm Pramod from Hyderabad.
consciousness is the observer. You are part of the totality of consciousness, and you are the observer.
okay. Is there any other questions we have for Dr. Bhardwaj? Okay. Dr. Bhardwaj, we have another question from the chat box.
Please.
So we'll probably wrap up with this question as well. So
Okay.
Dr. N is asking, related to Purnamadav Purnamidam, in other words, addressed by Professor Kaushalji, individual's consciousness and unified consciousness. This is what he has stated. I believe this is with regards to, can consciousness be the observer?
Yeah, consciousness
That's not
is the
really
observer.
clear. Yeah, in between Jada and Chetan, there's a third entity which has been talked in our Vedic literature, Jiva. So Jiva has a dual nature. At one end, it is connected with the Chetan, other end with the Jada. And there's some kind of duality you can end further introducing the theory. And that makes I think I have something in mind. We have a wave particle problem And even today, quantum mechanics has not been understood. Foundations are still questionable today. So such answers of such questions, such problems can still be solved when we introduce the concept of Jiva and elaborate the underlying concept of Vedic wisdom. So such things that
Sir, once
we cannot. Pardon?
I would like to say that once you have acquired the mind, then you become an individual and then you feel that Dvait.
Who acquired the mind?
Ji.
It's all natural. See, प्रकृति वो that इंद्रिय ये actually भूमिराप नलो वायु खमनो बुद्रे बच्चे अहंकार में भिन्न प्रकृति रस था ये सब पंच महाभूत मन mind intellect they are all inanimate objects. They are inanimate. They are illuminated by the presence of something fundamental field. That fundamental field may be localized in the form of an individual or it may be cosmos. So Jiva can exist at both the places. Whenever there is a matching frequency between the two, one goes up, bottom up approach, other comes down, top down approach, and there's a matching of frequencies of the two. You get the subjective experience, wonderful subjective experience. And that comes to the meditation. Meditation is neuroplasticity basically. Fundamental wisdom is everybody, whosoever born, alive person. But once you sit in meditation, you achieve so-called random access talent. Random access, that kind of instrument. And that adds to individual. We, all of us cannot be of the same category observer. So you sit in the meditation as a scientist or a philosopher or a yogi. Meditation is must. So meditation, please.
Small request, could you wrap it up a little quick? I believe we're running a little short.
I'm through. I'm always through. Somebody raised a question, so I'm clarifying.
No, definitely. I mean, and also we're seeing a lot of
the paper has appeared already.
We're seeing a lot of correspondence with it in chat as well. I also wanted to ask Bhardwaj what his thoughts are on this specifically as well. I mean, based on this line of questioning, where do you think this lies? Where does this go forward? How do you take it from here? With
I
respect
think
to this
that
question.
each individual is unique because we all have got our own baggages with us of beliefs and all. And now it all depends upon that how you really are receptive to the new ideas, to understand this phenomena on which we have got such a huge base of our Vedic culture. Vedic books are there. So you take lifetimes to read them and understand them. But this particular approach, which is based on Indian knowledge system, we are trying to make it simpler through science and logic so that ordinary people can understand what they are and then get into those details, including the physics or science areas where the scholars can join hands together and prove it simply that you are divine with an acquired mind and a created body. And it is for a while only. And as I told recently that 3 Nobel laureates have been awarded this prize, that the creation is not real.
Okay. I mean, I think that's a very good place to, look at this. I believe one last thing we can look at here is Kamlesh ji's, comment with regards to the English terminology. Bharadwaji, I believe she's referring to how the difference between soul and Atman. She's questioning whether it's proper to use, soul in place of Atman. How would you look at that? Just to loop back to that real quick.
So, well, I think today the time is not that much here because my flight will be here. So I think we can interact separately with people whomsoever wants to ask. You can give my email and my phone number, WhatsApp, so that we can talk.
Definitely, Dr. Bharadwaj.
What is the question, sir? What is the question?
The question, again, the question is in the chat box, I believe specifically. You can take a look at it there. We will wrap it up here because, like he said, he has a flight to catch, and the seminar the time is up as well.
Yeah, let him go.
So
I wish you all the best. Wish you all the let him take a flight now.
yeah. So with that being said, before we go on, I'd like to ask Tiwari ma'am for her closing thoughts on the overall discussion as well as a vote of thanks.
Thank you, Ashrut. And it is to be said very loudly that this talk was a excellent talk by Dr. Chand Bhardwaj, and he is a great speaker also. He is a knowledgeable person, and he is moreover experienced also these high philosophical concepts. So what he says, we have to believe that. And interestingly, his sayings, his concepts are very much noted in our Vedic scriptures also. Even then, he is not referring the Vedic texts with their references. Even then, it is there. He started his talk with the concept of creation, Eko Ambhosyam, from one to many. When Brahman became from one to many, it was creation. And when from many to one, it was pralaya, dissolution. So he spoke about the consciousness, then other aspects also, and attention and other things. But I must say that lecture was followed by a very lively discussion where senior persons were also present and some students or junior persons were present. First time we have in our program Dr. Rajkumar Jalan, who is the new member of life member of Waves India. Then we have Sindhu Shankara. She is a writer probably of our Waves proceedings. And Frank is here, Ashalta Pandey, then our senior most professor, Dr. Kaushal, and Dr. Anil Maheshwariji, who has left us. He is a very high support for WAVES programs also. So I must say that it was a good program, good presentation. But what must be realized by all of us, or we have this realization as usual, we have also, that about consciousness, about Brahman, it is very difficult to talk, to illustrate, to describe. As Mrs. Kapoor said that Atman cannot be translated. There are so many words in Sanskrit or Vedic literature which cannot be translated. And moreover, our Rishi says that yasya amatam tasya matam matam yasya navedasa. Yasya amatam tasya matam. Who says that he don't know, actually he knows. And the person who says he knows doesn't know anything, because he is basically not knowing that it is a element which cannot be known, because knowledge comes from sense organs, from mind, and from other faculties which we have. So there is no faculty which can have the realization of Atman, of the consciousness. When the question came from who realized, who said, it was the answer that was consciousness. So there are so many translation of mind, even there are so many translations of mind. Mind is not just the mind which we are referring here. Mind, manas, buddhi, chitta, ahankar. The important word is chitta, which goes again and again with us, not the mind. Mind has to do nothing. Sankalpa, Vikalpa, Atmako, Mana. So like that, there are so many things, and I am not going to discuss all these things here. Secondly, my work is to thank you who are present here. So everyone is very important for Waves webinar, for the success of Waves webinar. Professor A.S. Professor Kaushal ji, I will start from your name. You are a very senior professor, a physics professor. Then we have Professor Jalan. Then Anil Maheshwari ji, who has left us. Sindhu Shankar, Frank, Supriya, Umesh Kumar ji, and our foremost important attendee of today's program is Ashrut Suryanarayanan. So thanks to everyone. D. Pramod ji also, I'm thanking you. And to Gopal ji also, I'm thanking you. So Mosmi Chatterjee, you are here. I am happy to see you. So thanks to everyone, and please come next time again and try to be supportive with waves. If there are some problems, as in the very starting we were confused what to do. Chand Bhardwaji, you were not here. So we decided, but we will not leave the room. We will continue the program and we will discuss the topic which you have already mentioned in the program. So we started and then you came here. So everything is, which ends well is well. And I am thanking each and everyone again and again. And namaskar to all of you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you
So
very
much,
much.
ma'am.
Because today Balramji had kept a conference here, so I was attending in Lucknow, and now I am taking my flight back to Delhi tonight.
Happy journey,
It is very
Dr.
late.
Sahab.
Yeah.
Happy journey, return journey. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Jalan Sahab, you joined us. That's great. Thank you very much. Thanks all of you. You heard it so patiently, and I tried my best to give answers. So I think everybody has got his own view. Each one of us is unique, and that uniqueness needs to be respected. Waves is a multidisciplinary organization. A person like me who's not a scholar, I'm just an ordinary person. Of course, I'm connected with science and I've been working on it. So you are all scholars, I am not that. So without knowing Vedas, I'm talking about the concept which is really, it is my mother's blessings because she did genetic engineering in my case. So that's what is something wonderful I experience. All that knowledge has come from there. And whatever comes from there, I speak out. As the language also comes from divine. Whatever we speak is all divine. When this divinity comes through, and mind and body pollute the language. Because Mahabharata also happened due to language. Because Draupadi said, Andhe ke bache andhe. And that is what created a huge big war. So the language comes from there, and mind and body pollutes the language. If we can speak the same language which is descending from the divine, which is full with love, compassion, mercy, wisdom, humility, state of art, planning ability, its execution ability, let us face as it comes, justice, etc. Then we don't create new karmas at all. If we go as per the dictates of the mind and body, we create new karmas, and then we'll keep on coming into this world time and again. Death and birth cycle will continue. So I think that is what I learned from my mother. And I learned a lot from Shashiji and all others like R.S. Kaushal and everybody. So you are all my teachers
भी वेव्स
practically.
के
I learned.
बहुत पुराने मेंबर हैं और मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगी उमेश के बिहाफ पर कि आप भी लिखकर वेव्स के लिए कैसा आपको ये यात्रा लगी, जर्नी ऑफ विद वेव्स. सो इट विल बी ए नाइस आर्टिकल, आई थिंक सो.
Thank you very
सबसे
much.
बड़ी बात है, हम लोग डॉक्टर चांद भरद्वाज जी उस विषय पे बात कर रहे हैं जो बात करने का है ही नहीं, जिसको एक्सप्लेन करना है ही संभव नहीं. वो सिर्फ सेल्फ रियलाइजेशन का विषय है, एक्सपीरियंस का करा जा सकता है, उसको बताया नहीं जा सकता। तो इसलिए जितना भी हम लोग बता पा रहे हैं उतना ही काफी है, और अच्छा अच्छा हमको उसका फल मिलेगा आगे चल के। तो अब चलते हैं तो
Thank
घर।
you, ji. Thank you.
आपको सबको नमस्ते।
Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Bhardwaj
ji.
ji. Thank you so much,
Thank you, ji.
Tiwari ma'am. Um,
Thank you, ji.
I think as Tiwari ma'am said, right? Yadi manyase suvediti, yasya matam tasya matam. We started
Thank
off with profundity. We started off with consciousness. We started off with something big, something subtle, and we're ending with something that is just as subtle but just as impactful: gratitude. So, with
Thank you
this
very much.
gratitude, feeling of gratitude from wherever, I mean, with Waves, with this organization, with the people who made us who we are today, let us end with that gratitude through a Vedic invocation. And may this gratitude serve as the platform for upcoming seminars and upcoming conferences for Waves. Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha Hari Om. शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मावादिशं ऋतमवादिशं सत्यमवादिशं तन्मामावीत् तद्वक्तारमावीत् आवीन्माम् आवीद्वक्तारम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः Namaste to all. We'll meet next seminar.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks.